Alright folks, welcome to another episode of Millennium. This is the time you've all been waiting for. This is the Bleach 200 episode review, part 1. Okay, now listen. I said I was going to do this review. I'm still doing it, but I'm cutting it because I want to take my time with this and actually go into detail about how I feel about this show so far, as I'm only halfway through it, and even being halfway through it, I'm still waiting on it to come out with the actual 1,000-year war arc like I've wanted to for so long. I didn't want to drag too hard. I didn't want it to be too lengthy either. What I'm going to do is I'm going to say what the amount of episodes each arc has, say the name of the arc, obviously, give a summary, my own summary of the arc, and give the arc a rating, give you my favorite episode, and then a low totem episode. So this is kind of like I don't know. I guess that's what I wanted to do with this, is just kind of go above and beyond with these things. And so that's why I'm cutting it in half. This is going to be, part 1 of 2. So fear not. Anyway, I have wasted a good 2 minutes, so let's get into it. Arc 1 of Bleach. This is the birth of a Soul Reaper. That's what I call the arc. It really isn't. But this is when Ichigo becomes the Death God. This begins his journey that him and his friends will remember forever. Rukia makes her arrival to Kudakara Town. My favorite episode was definitely a gentle right arm. Now, this was when Ichigo and Ishida were going against the hollows that Ishida had unleashed among the town, so they could see who's better between the Quincy and the Soul Reaper. Even though homie is a substitute, we never acknowledge that. They always do, but they never really do. This one started showing me just how powerful these characters were because they took out the Minnows. Now, we didn't realize how weak the Minnows was compared to a regular Iran car before, but we knew that they were massive. They're huge. It's the size of 2-3 skyscrapers put in one. And they just eat things and people and stuff. So it's something I do remember from my distant childhood, and I thought it was super cool. My least favorite episode was the encounter, Renji Abre. Now, this episode was a fighting one. It was going to be my favorite because Ichigo was working Renji, bruh. Renji was getting worked. Immediately after this battle, Byakuya, which is one of my favorite characters of the show, but this was a dick move. He stole Rukia, pretty much killed Ichigo, where he lied and just moved, and Rukia's like, "Don't follow me," blah blah blah, knowing that the anime protagonist is going to do exactly what she told him not to. I don't think there's ever been one person that hasn't just gone immediately after. But yeah, this arc gets an A. It doesn't get lower than an A. Obviously, this is where it starts. But it was the start, and so it's that's a good start. I respect it. The arc gets an A. So, my second arc in here, it is the arc 2, the first sneak entry arc. This is episode 21 through 41. So like they were taking it like slowly but surely with these arc episodes and stuff. This is where Ichigo officially becomes a Soul Reaper and begins to train with Urahara. Ishida, Sato, and Orihime leave the living realm to save their friends who they've literally just met. Best episode, The Immortal Man. Hell yeah. This is the best episode out of the arc, bruh. What you mean? This was the battle that we could have gotten that was city level destruction. Yes, The Immortal Man. I believe this was the one where it was Kenpachi, Zaraki Kenpachi versus Ichigo. This was like a boss battle before the boss battle, because it's like, wow, Kenpachi really like getting in there, like he really getting into it. I forgot what old girl's name, the one that be on his shoulder all the time. Like she was like, oh, you like right after the battle, she was like, you gave Kenpachi a good fight. Like he's never been that happy in so long. Blah blah blah. I'm like, wait, so this is just nonchalant conversation about like destroying a whole like entire. This was intense to me. It was just like Kenpachi doesn't have a Bankai or know the name of his sword, and he's just powerful for no reason, and Ichigo just finds a way to plot armor is the way to win. Just because he knew the name of his blade, and that's okay. That's fine. My least favorite episode of the arc, though, Motive of the Fist. First off, Chad is the best boy, and don't at me. Second, this one hurt, cause Chad is really that nigga, bruh. He went down swinging. This was a valiant effort. And I will always believe that Chad is best boy. I am so serious. This is a solid A arc. It was a solid A. I put it up there as well. But we're about to get our first S. So, the arc 3. This was the first rescue arc, and this was episode 42 through 63. Now that we've infiltrated Soul Society like a bunch of idiots, let's actually save Rukia arc. I had fun with this one, especially when everyone was in prison. Ichigo couldn't find a regular looking sword, like for the longest time. Like this man's trying to find his Bankai, and it's a regular sword. Of all things. And Rukia was really on death row, like 5 seconds away from actually getting executed. Isn't it beautiful? There's a bunch of craziness, and the unwarranted craziness that I like, cause it's extra. Favorite episode, conclusion of the death match. White Pride and Black Desire. Ichigo versus Byakuya. Need I say more? Yes. It is just yes. Now, the low totem episode, the reality of despair. Oh man, I just realized I just put this in there. Hold on, I'm crying. Hold on. Okay, the assassin's dagger is swung. That's the second half of the actual episode name. This one hurt a little bit. I like Aizen, bro. I like him as an antag of the show for stuff like this. It's petty. It's extremely petty. But hell, dude, he hurt me. This one hurt. Hold on, I'm gonna put the phone down. You ain't have to do Momo like that, bro. You ain't have to do her like that. And what's worse is that Momo was still like, man, maybe there's a reason for all of this. Blah. After the fact, that's hurt me, bruh. I know why Hitsugaya was like so, like, oh man, like that would piss me off too, because it was like she really loved you, she really fucked with you, she really looked up to you, and like not only did you betray that trust, you tried to murder her. That's so above and beyond. But like that one, to me, that one just kind of stung a little harder than usual, because Hitsugaya was really trying to protect her and everything. Like she went on her own whim too. It's like, you know that she's going to him, she's choosing him, she's doing this. He knew what he was doing. That is one way to abuse the system. That's one way to abuse the system. And like we find out later, it's like he grabs that orb. I don't know what the name of it is right now, but the one that's supposed to have the power to make the key to get to the king of the stuff. I'm getting too far ahead. That's gonna be next episode. But with that being said, obviously this is an S arc. This gets a grade S, highest grade you can get for an arc, and appropriate for this one. I really liked it in the way that it happened. Everything came to fruition, and we almost got to see the Grand Master, old dude, duke it out with some of the youngins. That's who I really wanted to see go at it. That old man, he is so like OP. You take the whole fit off, and it's just muscles underneath. It's still an S. It's definitely an S. Let's get to the next arc. This, I want to say, is arc 4. I want to say is the beginning of the Bount arc. I don't know how to say their names either, because I don't know if it's Bounto or Bount. I don't know. This is episode 64 through 91. The Bount arc wasn't bad. I could tell you it's a C rating for me, because it was a lot for me. Now, what I had prior to was a lot, but that had proper building to it. Like, this altogether was just a lot, and it took me a little bit. It took me a lot, honestly. I didn't know. Right after Ichigo and his friends infiltrated Soul Society, Issa lost his powers fighting a 189 IQ scientist. Shout out Nuxie baby. They literally have the Bount wanting to do the same thing. These vampire-like creatures that get more powerful if they feed on live humans. That is an actual thing. They're like human soul reaper hybrids that control these weird yet powerful creatures like marionettes or pets. I don't know, G. Then they had Ishida simping over old girl.
Her name is Yoshino.
I know. It'll come to me. Forget about it. Korea, the main antagonist of this arc, was actually the bomb. I'm serious, he was actually the bomb. Even that's in the next arc, but man, it was kind of stressful. It was stressful. It was a lot. Also, I would have loved to point out something. I would love to point something out, because I don't know if this is a thing or not. I don't know if I want it to be a thing or not, but this is where like it started making itself known. This arc starts a trend where Rukia gets captured and used for battles. Used for battles as either the bait or the battler. I think it's funny because I don't think she deserves any of it, but it happens really quick and then it stops. And so I just wanted to say something. I didn't want to be that guy. The best episode of this arc, Reviving Power. Ishida finally gets his powers back. This was a very heavy Ishida arc, only because the Bount and the Quincy's have history. They used to duke it out with each other just as much as the Soul Reapers used to duke it out with the Bount. Even though they made the Bount, I don't know. It was a weird thing, man. I guess the Quincy's wasn't fucking with them. I don't know why. It was just a battle. But Ishida finally got his powers back, but opens the gate for the Bount to go to Soul Society just so he could have a fair fight, because he couldn't use his powers there. Keep in mind, homie had his powers taken, and he's using this war weapon that he got from I can't think of the scientist's name, from his daughter. So she gave him that. I guess it was a research weapon, and now that's the only way he can fight. He doesn't have his powers back fully, but he can still extract the soul energy. So I don't know. There's a lot of like technicality behind it. I don't know. The worst episode was, of course, you said her name was Yoshino.
Her name is Yoshino.
Yes, Yoshino dying. I don't know why, but they had the boy Ishida just simping hard. And so when she finally passed on after fighting Korea, who was actually the bomb, let's just keep it going. Let's keep it real. The same dude that she used to date or used to love, or there's a whole thing behind this. Ishida is just hurt because it's like he wanted. Oh boy, this is a C. I said that before. It was a lot. This was a lot. Now the last arc was the Bount Assault arc. This is the last arc I'm doing for the part 1 of the 200 episode review. So this arc was from episode 192 to 109. So it wasn't, it's like they what they would usually do with the arcs, they could just cut it into two halves instead of thirds. I don't know what I just said. I don't know maths, bruh. This is a B. It was a B rating. Better than the first half, but not quite there. I do love seeing Korea truly turn into a villain that truly don't care about nobody. He was gonna blow that mud all the way to high hell. All the way. Like, he had homies turn against him. He had low souls doing his job for him. His character developed in 5 seconds, bruh. Because they didn't really go into detail about him, and so then he started showing his ass. So I love that. They did him enough justice, I believe. They did him enough. He almost got it. He really wanted it, but plot armor, man. Woo. He was literally the bomb. He was going to detonate Soul Society and turn it into ash, and that takes balls. That's a big place. The the best episode was Zaraki Kenpachi versus Maki. I don't. Kenpachi has made 2 out of the 5 best episodes. Chad is best boy, but Kenpachi is just like, he's just hard. He brings the best out of somebody in a fight. That's why I love Kenpachi, because not only was Kenpachi really fighting Maki, which that backstory is like, that's stressful. I'm surprised how the Bout found him in the first place, but they have history. Kenpachi and Maki did have history. Maki was supposed to be working underneath Kenpachi. Of course, Kenpachi's like, if you can cut me with that sword, I'll look at you, I'll fight you. Because Maki was really gonna fight for the captain he literally just lost. And so, of course, that thing didn't cut. With his little special ability, it didn't cut. He ended up being stuck on the ground, crying. He's like, oh man. I forgot what Kenpachi said. He's like, talk to me when you find the strength to get back up. He said that. He said, talk to me when you find the strength to get back up, as he was like on his hands and knees, absolutely flustered by the fact that he couldn't even cut this man. Not even like a scratch. Like, that's just so, like, looking at the battle and everything and seeing Maki and where he's been and what he's been doing, and see him be selfish because he had an order. He had a direct order. He was selfish. He could have carried it out. He could have took out Ichigo and them. He chose not to. And like, that just shows you just how serious this was, man. I appreciate that immensely. That takes so much, like, that takes balls. You like really gotta wanna hurt a person or to feel your pride, like, to really go out and fight to the death like that. Like, it wasn't, I don't know, man. I had to get some popcorn for it. I was screaming like I was just then. Now, Below Totem episode is when they finally took out Korea, man. Homie was really about to blow.
My main goal is to blow up.
He was about to blow up. It's fine, I swear. It's fine. Korea did a good job. He did enough. You did the damage you needed to. That I did agree with homies, his subordinate. I did agree with him. One with the red hair. I did believe it's like you've already done enough. Like, you don't need to go above and beyond. But he was about to do the pettiest thing ever. So it's like he wasn't successful, but he made a point. It's like, fix y'all fuck ups next time. We weren't supposed to be alive. That's crazy. They weren't. They were experiments and everything. But like I said before, this was a B. It was better. Korea was fun. Ichigo came a little further into himself as a Soul Reaper, as he learns how to control the Bankai and fight against himself. It was all good. It was all good. Seeing that development, especially with Ishida. More to come from him, surprising enough. So with all this being said and done for fun, I gotta run and prepare for the next one, as this is only part 1, hun. Bars to let you guys go pretties. So please like, comment, and subscribe to your boy Big Nature. The next episode we will finish the 200 episode arc with part 2, and hopefully we'll have a review of something else sitting in the back pocket for you guys after that episode. So there's more to come for Millennium Aim. I need to do Millennium X and Millennium X Sports very soon, but Millennium A is still going, so we're going strong. Thank you very much for watching, and have a good day.